Alright, so here is my Fitbit review, and what I've done is I've replaced the review 1 simply with Fitbit review for the moment. Now if we go over to the admin system, you'll see I've used the basic editor to basically put all this together. I could have used my page builder, I could have made it look fancier, but just for the purpose of this course I want to focus on content and show you exactly how I've written this so that you fully understand how to write a great review. Now with that in mind, what I want to do is go back to that previous slide and go through each of the 9 steps and show you how I've applied it to what I've actually written. So rule number 1 was to use the product, and the second rule was if you can't use it, base it on other reviews, but be honest in the process. Now I do actually own this Fitbit, so I am able to write a review having used the product, but I'll be honest with you, I took some of those images from other places on the internet. But given that this isn't a real review, and just for teaching purposes, I hope you will forgive me that part. Now the third one is to let your own personality shine through. Don't be corporate. So let's go back to the site. And let's have a look at the way I've written this, okay? So, hi guys, and welcome to my review of the Fitbit Ionic smartwatch, okay? So already not something formal. I talk about myself throughout, yeah? I'm the guy who's testing it, super important. So here I introduce myself. If you've never visited my site before, then you should know I'm a bit of a fitness geek. I compete in Ironman, etc. Okay, so it gives them an idea straight away that I am somebody who knows what they're talking about when it comes to fitness, so I make that connection, okay? Then we get, so a couple of weeks ago I got the Fitbit Ionic smartwatch and I've spent the last few days putting it through its paces. And then generally I must say I was super impressed. Now as you read through this and take your time and read through, you'll see that I've got a what I like to think of as a kind of chatty but professional style, okay? I'm hoping to gain the respect of the reader, but at the same time keeping it reasonably light, keeping it personal, making that connection, and above all, not a corporate message. So point 4 is emphasizing the fact you're writing a review and not a sales page. And again, if you look through it, at no point am I saying, please buy this, or 5 days left at this price. These kinds of pressure sales techniques. I'm not really trying to sell it. I'm trying to give an objective view of a product. I am doing a very light sale, as you'll see when you read it, but basically I am not doing any kind of pushy sales. Now the 5th thing was don't forget who you're writing for. Now again, when you think about that previous slide about the ideal customer, those are the things you want to keep in mind. Now as I said, I know about fitness, so I know the type of people that are likely to buy a product of this nature. Now number 6 is a good one. This is all about mentioning the pros but also the cons, but the cons maybe not too much, okay? You want it to be a reasonably positive review without making it look obvious that you're trying to sell. It's this kind of delicate balance. That's the message I'm trying to get across. So let's have a look at some of the cons that I've woven into my review. Now I actually talk about it very early on, okay? I've got here, and here are my headlines. And I've got very cool and not so cool. So I'm talking about a bit pricey, yeah? It's a little bit on the expensive side. But in some ways that's quite a positive thing, yeah? Because a bit expensive often implies good quality. I'm not saying it's overpriced, I'm not saying it's bad value, I'm just saying it's a little bit on the expensive side. And as we read through, amongst a generally positive response to this product, you will see various things. So for example here, if I was being really picky, I would say after a 10k jog, I did find the steel case and rubberized band a little on the bulky side, okay? So now and again I'm interjecting not deep negativity. I'm not saying this is a rubbish product. If it was a rubbish product, I wouldn't have reviewed it in the first place. But I am trying to be realistic, because people will smell that immediately if you're just simply saying this is a great product, this is a great product, this is a great product all the time without any kind of downside whatsoever. So I hope that gives you a good idea of how to weave in, how to insert the cons into your review without necessarily putting the reader off and keeping their attention, increasing their desire, and ultimately getting them to click and go to Amazon to buy. Now number 7 was to include all the media types. Now I haven't done infographics and video, but you can see how I've got text and images, and you can see how that makes it far more readable. If I was going to build this out even further, I would take a little video of myself actually going through certain functions and do a deeper dive into what this is actually all about. But for the purpose of this course, I've just left it as text and images to give you a good idea of how important it is, at least, to bring in some of the other media types. Now number 8 is don't forget the call to action, and in fact that kind of goes with the last one, okay, this AIDA thing. We have attention, interest, desire, and action. Because as you read through it, you'll see I'm basically, having got their attention in the beginning by bringing them to the site, I'm increasing their interest as they read it. I hope you feel that when you read it, perhaps even if you're not somebody who's interested in fitness, but you're gaining interest in that product, you're gaining a desire to ultimately want to buy it. Now that call to action is included right at the bottom. So let's just have a look and see what I've done there. So right at the bottom of my review, I do a small sum up, okay, and I say it's a little on the pricey side, so again a little bit of a con there, okay, but it's such an incredible fitness tracker smartwatch with so many features that I personally feel it's really worth the money. That's my kind of sum up. Now what I've got here is a placeholder image, okay, there's nothing there at the moment, but that's going to be my affiliate link that takes them to Amazon to buy the product. So what we have there is a very subtle call to action. It's a natural progression. They've got to this point and now they're thinking, yeah, this is pretty cool, I want to go to the next level and buy this thing. So it's that type of call to action. It's not flashing buy now button, you know, 10 days left at this price, 30% off, none of that stuff, okay. It's basically a subtle, gentle way of taking them to Amazon. So in the next lecture I'm going to show you how we're going to put in the right image for this placeholder, and I'm also going to show you how we can add in some other links throughout the text, again, to slowly bring them over to Amazon to ultimately make the purchase. But just before we do that, I do just want to say a few words. Now, I hope what you've got from this lecture is a great idea of how to write a review. I've given you a good structure. What I really, really want you to do now is just to start writing. I understand that sometimes it can feel a little bit overwhelming. You might be thinking, gosh, I can't write that kind of review, or I don't know where to start yet, whatever it might be. You've got a lot of information there, a huge amount of good information, so that you can make a great start. And what's so important is just to get going. Grab a piece of paper, do it on WordPress, do it on Word, whatever your preferred medium is for writing stuff down, and just start writing about a product. You'll be amazed at what you come up with, and you may well find that you've got some really cool hidden talents to create this kind of copy. So really go for it. I really, really encourage you. I hope you can hear it in my voice, because I really, really want you to succeed with this business. But please, please, please start writing something down. In fact, do that before we even go to the next lecture. Even if it's just the first 2 paragraphs, it's going to increase your confidence and it's going to engage you further and further with this course. So fantastic job, guys. I'm going to see you in the next lecture.